Today I'm reviewing the NiceHCK NX8 in-ear monitors. These have got 8 drivers per side. We've got 1 dynamic driver, 6 balanced armatures, and 1 piezoelectric driver. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? David here from Prime Audio Reviews. That is what the box looks like. And here we have our IEMs. Now let's just remove them from the cable, and while the cable's sitting there, let's talk about it. It's a decent quality cable. It's not the most beautiful cable, but yeah, it's functional, it handles well, and it's high quality. It's got a chin slider and everything. It is available in either 4.4 or 3.5 millimeter termination, and there it is. And here are the shells. That's what they look like. So we've got this kind of galaxy design on the face plates. Looks pretty cool. It's fairly low key. Black opaque 3D printed acrylic shells and standard 2-pin connectors. You can see despite having 8 drivers in each IEM, they're pretty small. So they're nice and comfortable in my ears. They should be good for most people. So build quality is great. Comfort, at least for me, is excellent, and that's what they look like. By the way, these have removable nozzles, and there are 2 sets of nozzles in the box, but strangely they're both identical, and that's because neither of them is actually a tuning nozzle. They're just nozzles. And the reason they added another one is in case one gets full of dust or earwax, you can just replace them. However, they do state that these are compatible with other tuning nozzles from other IEMs. I did, however, try the filters from the NiceHCK NX8, and they do not fit, strangely enough. And yeah, actually I've got the Moondrop Cadence right here. Let's see if that fits. And it does. Look at that. So yeah, if you've got a few other IEMs around the place, you could happily switch between filters and see which one you like best. I didn't bother trying any others because frankly, I like the original tuning. By the way, this is the case that comes with the IEMs, and they also include a nice variety of decent ear tips. Excellent. So that's always lovely to see. Good going, NiceHCK. I also want to say sorry for the recent lack of content. I've had another round of that super flu or super virus that's been going around. Absolutely destroyed my voice for about 4.5 days. So I haven't been able to make any videos during that whole time, but I'm back in action right now, as you can hear, and let's get into the NX8, how this sounds. So basically you get a nice balanced sound signature with this. There's a touch of warmth and a sub bass lift. It leans towards that new Betta tuning, so it's quite similar in tuning to the Kiwi Ears KE4. If you're familiar with that, I'll do a comparison later. And in case you're not familiar with what the new Betta tuning means, it means it's generally regarded as sort of neutral and natural sounding with a subtle bass boost and an extended but smooth treble. It's a refinement of the Harman tuning. This is sort of looking like it might actually supersede the Harman 2019 IE target. But anyway, that's regardless of that. Let's have a look at the graph. So you can see that lift in the bass there. It's a nice healthy lift. It's not overdone. So let's talk about the bass in more detail. It's lifted to a fun level, but it's not overdone in any way. The sub bass has got a nice physical rumble. It's pretty satisfying. It's nice and authoritative. The mid bass it's got ample impact, but at the same time, it's still very controlled. And it's nice and agile. It's not slow or sluggish. Bass notes have got a slightly blunted attack, but that's good in my opinion because it adds a bit of realism and weight to the bass notes. And we've got pretty swift note decays, preventing any smearing in the mid-range. And this bass makes the NX8 really great for movie soundtracks like hip hop, R&B, EDM, although I'd say the bass is versatile enough to work with all music genres. And in the mid-range, the lower mids inherit a bit of warmth from that bass, which gives the mids a natural warmth and body. Both male and female vocals have good density, yet they maintain good articulation. It's a pretty impressive mid-range with good body and good note size. Vocals get a bit of a lift without any hint of shoutiness. There's no nasality. And despite the full-bodied presentation of the mids, vocals and instruments sound neutral rather than warm. Like there is a little bit of underlying warmth, but overall the mids sound pretty neutral and transparent. There's excellent separation and spaciousness in the mid-range, which enhances the transparency. And then we have the treble, and I'm going to say the NX8's treble is the best treble that I've heard from the NX series thus far. Like previous iterations, the NX7 series, for example, they had sort of a brittleness and a metallic sound from the piezoelectric driver, and I don't hear that here. This treble sounds much more natural than what I'm used to, so it's great to see either the piezo drivers have improved or NiceHCK has improved their tuning, or a combination of both, I don't know, but either way, treble is much better than previous models, and it's a treble tuning that sits somewhere between smooth and zesty. There's ample energy, but there's no sharpness and there's no sibilance. Treble notes are nice and crisp, they're well defined, they have good speed and a nice natural sheen. Regarding soundstage and technicalities, pretty solid technical ability. It's got excellent detail retrieval and no trouble at all picking up those small micro details. The soundstage is reasonably wide. It's well proportioned. It's got good depth as well. It's got good instrument separation, ample space, and I don't hear any congestion even during busy segments or busy tracks. And the imaging and placement of instruments and vocals is precise. So great for music. You can hear where individual elements are. Great for gaming. You can hear where your enemies or teammates are, and great for immersive movie action as well. Okay, it's time for some comparisons now. I'm going to pull in first the Kiwi Ears KE4. Now the KE4 has got, from memory, I think it's 2 dynamic drivers and 2 balanced armatures, and that's what it looks like. You can see the shells are a bit larger on the KE4. Not a lot of difference, but yeah, I find probably the NX8 slightly more comfortable for my ears. So these two IEMs have very similar tuning, both following that new meta target that I talked about. The KE4's vocals have a little extra fullness and weight. That's due to sort of more presence in the core mid-range area, while the NX8, on the other hand, makes vocals sound a bit clearer and more defined. The KE4 has a little bit more treble extension, and that's to counterbalance the extra warmth that it has in its mids. But both IEMs have excellent perceived clarity. They both sound nice and open, especially in like cymbals and hi-hats. Both have got great treble extension. When it comes to soundstage, both of these IEMs perform pretty much on par with each other, but the NX8, I'd say, has a slight edge in imaging. That's possibly due to that piezoelectric driver's precision. And both of these have subtle differences, but they, at the same time, they are both great performers, and they're both priced exactly the same at $199. I could easily live with either one of these as a daily driver. I don't really have a preference as far as sound goes. Audio quality is pretty much on par with each other. Very subtle differences with each one. So I'm almost tempted to say just go if you're considering either or both, just go with the one that you think looks better. And remember, the KE4 is slightly larger. Now let's pull in the Moondrop Cadence single dynamic driver IEM, and it's priced at, I think, $189. And unlike the KE4, the Cadence does sound significantly different from the NX8. It's much brighter, it's got less bass impact, it's got less bass authority. It does have a clearer mid-range, and the vocals are more forward on the Cadence, but I find them to be somewhat shouty at times, whereas the NX8 has a more natural, warmer presentation. Both IEMs have got good treble extension, but the treble is more forward on the Cadence, and that is due to its attenuated bass, which raises the perceived level of the treble. The Cadence has a wider soundstage, but the NX8 has superior resolution and better instrument separation. So the Moondrop, yeah, this one ideal for people who like a neutral bright tonality, while the NX8 is more suitable for people who prefer a more natural, closer to neutral, smoother presentation. Now that covers pretty much everything. To summarize the NiceHCK NX8, I like it. It's a good IEM. It's definitely the best of the NX series thus far. I would say it competes directly with the Kiwi Ears KE4, and I would say it is, yeah, definitely, if you're looking for something in that around that $200 price point, this should definitely be one of the contenders on your list. Having said that, I have to go because my voice is going. I've only just recovered, but it's starting to go on me now. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Par Family Audiophile Style. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button before you go. And until next time, I'll see you later.